Share the wonderful world of Disney with your family. Weeknights at 7 on TV 24.
WCGV-TV, Channel 24 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin now concludes another broadcast day. WCGV-TV is licensed by the Federal Communications Commission to operate on a frequency of 530 to 536 megahertz and broadcasts at an effective radiated power of 3 million watts. Channel 24 is owned and operated by HR Broadcasting Company with studios at 5445 North 27th Street and transmitter located at 3950 North Holton Street in Milwaukee. Join us again tomorrow for another day of fine television programming.
CKVR Channel 3, Cable 3 in Orangeville.
We hope you've enjoyed a pleasant day with CKVR TV. CKVR Barrie broadcasts on Channel 3 at a maximum power of 100,000 watts visual and 10,000 watts oral, with rebroadcasting stations Channel 8 Huntsville and Channel 12 Parry Sound. CKVR TV, your station for the classics.
You're viewing WKTV, Channel 2, Utica, New York.
The employees of this station are members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Chauffeurs, Warehousemen, Helpers, and Miscellaneous Crafts of America.
Sunday Report, followed by Venture, tomorrow on CBC Television.
That concludes our programming from CBC Ottawa for today. CBC Ottawa is one of 18 television stations owned and operated by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Our studios are located at 250 Lanark Avenue in Ottawa's West End. Our transmitter is at Camp Fortune, Quebec, and operates with a power of 100,000 watts on Channel 4. CBC Ottawa covers the Ottawa Valley from Hawkesbury to the edge of Pembroke, and from Prescott and Cornwall in the south to Maniwaki in the north. Our programs are telecast on Channel 4, Cable 8 in Ottawa, and Cable 2 in western Quebec. On Channel 19 in Barry's Bay, Channel 28 in Foymont, Channel 51 in Maynooth, Channel 33 in MacArthur's Mills, and Channel 9 in Whitney. We've been serving our audience at CBC Ottawa for more than 35 years. Our weekday programming features Newsday at 6 with Peter Van Dusen and Nancy Cooper, and Newsday Final at 11 with Joe Spence, both highlighting local news. Other information broadcasts include The National, The Journal, and Midday. In our CBC Ottawa studios, we produce local and regional programs. Monday evenings, there's Metro, an award-winning show that brings a new twist to Ottawa life. Look for Corey O'Kelly and Becky Reiner Mondays at 7. You never know where you'll find them. Thursday evenings at 7, follow the Gemini Award winner On the Road Again with Wayne Rostad. a locally produced show for the CBC network. And 4 mornings a week, Holly, Iggy, Gloria, and Jacob drop in to entertain the younger set from coast to coast. Watch Under the Umbrella Tree, another locally produced network show. CBC Ottawa is proud to offer original Canadian shows and to cooperate with independent producers in co-productions. Throughout the year, watch for our many community specials. If you have any comments or suggestions about our programming, please write to our program manager at CBC Ottawa, Box 3220, Station C, Ottawa, Ontario, K1Y 1E4. Or call our switchboard at 724-1200 weekdays between 9 and 5. From CBC Ottawa, good night.
KVIA 7 together in El Paso, KVI OTV 6 in Carlsbad, New Mexico. This concludes another broadcast day. We hope your day was a pleasant one. Thank you very much for joining us at KVIA TV El Paso, KVI OTV Carlsbad. KVIA TV is owned and operated by Marsh Media of El Paso, Richard Pearson, General Manager. We've got it together on 7.
Now on CKY Winnipeg, CKYB Brandon, CKYD Dauphin, CKYP The Paw, CKYF Flin Flon, CKYT Thompson, CKYS Snow Lake, and CKYA Fisher Branch, we end another telecast day with the authorization of Communications Canada. CKY Winnipeg operates between 174 and 180 megahertz at a strength of 325,000 watts effective radiated power video and 65,000 watts effective radiated power audio. CKY studios are at the CKY building in Polo Park. Its transmitter is located 25 miles southwest of the city of Winnipeg at St. Agathe. CKYB Channel 4 in Brandon operates between 66 and 72 megahertz at a strength of 100,000 watts effective radiated power video and 20,000 watts effective radiated power audio. Its transmitter is located 12 miles south of the city of Brandon at Hayfield. CKYD Dauphin Channel 12 operates between 204 and 210 megahertz at a strength of 150,000 watts effective radiated power video and 31,000 watts effective radiated power audio. Its transmitter is located 36 miles northwest of the town of Dauphin at Baldy Mountain. CKYP Channel 12, The Paw, operates between 204 and 210 megahertz at a strength of 2,130 watts effective radiated power video and 213 watts effective radiated power audio. CKYF Channel 13 Flin Flon operates between 210 and 216 megahertz at a strength of 2,065 watts effective radiated power video and 206 watts effective radiated power audio. CKYT Channel 9 Thompson operates between 186 and 192 megahertz at a strength of 2,185 watts effective radiated power video and 120 watts effective radiated power audio. Its transmitter is located in Thompson. CKYS Channel 11 Snow Lake operates between 198 and 204 megahertz at a strength of 19.2 watts effective radiated power video and 1.9 watts effective radiated power audio. CKYA Fisher Branch Channel 8 operates between 180 and 186 megahertz at a strength of 62,000 watts effective radiated power video and 6,200 watts effective radiated power audio. Its transmitter is located in Fisher Branch. From the management and staff of CKY, good night.
WKRN Nashville now concludes its broadcast day. WKRN TV is owned and operated by Young Broadcasting of Nashville, Incorporated. We wish you a good night.
Right. We shall start.
Called yet? No. 6 minutes to go yet, Control.
Will you speak up, please?
City removers here. I believe you wanted an estimate.
You're always welcome.
You did exactly what I told you. Talk to nobody. Remember, Jim, trust no one. No one. You work to me alone. I'm sorry, there's no vodka.
I didn't expect any.
I've got a job for you. Familiar territory, Czechoslovakia.
Perhaps a bit too familiar.
Which identity do you want to use? I'd suggest Vladimir Hayek.
Still a Czech journalist?
Yes.
Still based in Paris?
Yes.
Has anyone else used him?
No. You agree?
I think it's yes.
I've had an offer of service, Jim. On the military side. His cover name is Testify. You're a military-minded chap. Two of you should hit it off pretty well. He's fond of horses, too. Something else you've got in common.
We can chat polo, I suppose, sir.
His real name is Stefchek. At the moment, he's an artillery general, but in the past, he's worked in close liaison with Russian intelligence. Very close. And now he wants to talk to us. I have, personally, interviewed an intermediary in Austria. Stefchek now wants to testify to a ranking officer of mine who can speak Czech.
Why?
There was a girlfriend, student, 20 years difference between them. Such things happen. She was shot during the uprising of '68. Sevchek never forgave the Russians for it. He's been after their blood ever since, laying low, stayed friendly. All the time he's been waiting his chance. Now he's ready.
How sure are you?
Stevchik. Rocketry. Ballistics. Fourth man in Czech Army Intelligence. Secretary of the National Internal Security Committee. Anglo-American desk in Prague. He's big, Jim. And he's got treasure for us. He's worked for Moscow Center's England section, and he's going to give us the name of the agent Moscow planted inside our setup. We have a mole, Jim.
London?
Very near the top.
In the circus?
One of the top 5. Their code name for him is Gerald. We're a rotten apple, Jim. And the maggots are eating up the circus.
These people, one of these?
Why not? Are the British incapable of deception? We've turned enough members of other outfits, Russians, Poles, Czechs, even the odd American. Why shouldn't there be a mole in the circus? Now, look at them.
No control, I know who they are.
Listen, Jim, we've got to have code names for them. Do you remember the nursery rhyme, Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Sailor? Finish it.
Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief.
Percy Allenine, Director of Operations, Tinker. Tinker. Bill Hayden, Head of Personnel, Tailor. Roy Bland, Head of Iron Curtain Networks, Soldier. We leave out Sailor, too much like Tailor, could be misheard.
Rich man?
Don't like it. Sounds like police work, fraud, Swiss bank stuff. Toby Esterhazy, top lamplighter, our exquisite head sleuth. Poor man? Yes. Poor man. And George Smiley, my devoted deputy, beggar man. Have you got it?
I'll remember.
All I want from you, Jim, is one word. Just the one code name. If you have to scrawl it on the front door of the embassy in Prague, or phone our resident Hood and shout it in his ear before you go underground. If there's some kind of a fumble, then that should be necessary. Just give me that one word. But remember, Jim, if you're caught, deny me, I don't know you're there.
Where do I meet Stevchik? How? When?
On Friday, March 20th. Stevchik will be inspecting the weapon research station at Tishnov, near Brno. About 100 miles north of the Austrian border. From there, he'll be visiting a hunting lodge for the weekend alone. It's a place high up in the forest, not far from Rachitse. He'll provide you with an escort from Brno, and he expects you on the evening of Saturday, March 21st.
What does he get from us?
Usual assurances, if and when he wants to come, we'll look after him. One word will do it, Jim. I'm almost there.
Podíváme se tady na ten modrý kus. to bude všechno živý. Pane, jste si zvoz. Vy taky, pane. Pane, jste si zvoz. Vy taky. Dejte nám odevřte nám ten kufr vzadu. Pokud jedete. Nezdržujte to, prosím vás, najděte si ty klíče, to máte mít připravený.
Tady západem, pane Heku.
No doufám, že taky za zábavou. Ve Francii nevaří dobré pivo.
Je to druhé patro, třetí dveře. Vidíte, jaká tady fronta? No, já v té frontě nestojím, já přece. Ticho, ty jeden. Pánové, tohle je obchodní dům a žádný fotbalový fanoušek. Seberte si a jděte pryč. Vy tady nic takového nebudete. Nechtějte, abych zavolal policii. Nechtějte, abych zavolal policii. Seberte se a jděte pryč. Vypadněte. Vykličte tu místnost. Jak tady máme fotbalovat? Seberte se nebo zavolal policii. Dobrý. Já ještě s tím se rodiče.
tě vám.
No jde to, ale doktor mi řekl, že nesmím řídit díl než 3 hodiny.
Otevřete.
Ne, máte sedět se mnou vepředu, je to bezpečnější.
Co ty dajo?
A taky demokratičnější.
Otevřete.
Máte pistoli?
Otevřete.
Máte zprávu pro generála? Povím vám anekdotu. Tak teda jedna ženská je jako divá za chlapama. A když stojí za nima ve frontě, tak jim šahá ze zadu na koule. No a jednou zrovna taky začalo pršet.
Nehybete se a nemluvte. Vylezte, baraku. Pomalu. Dej si to na sebe. Dýchat je. Budu za generálem. Až se jí vrátíš, až tu budu bezpečné.
Proč? Já vím, že to je bezpečné.
Ti, kdybych rozvíčil, mohl být tě. Snadno dostat. Ale ti.
Sтой, где стоишь?
Я не видно ни хрена, темно здесь.
Видишь, какой? Ну-ка, Денис, переверни-ка его на спину.
Да чего переворачивать? Холодно он уже.
Ну, значит, под собой ничего.
Barabbas was a bookseller.
Mr. Smiley, please. You're making an investment.
I hope you'll remember that the day I send it back to you.
It's always a pleasure to do business with you, sir. You always have a joke for me.
I think, after all, we could trust this to the post office.
Yes, I'll send it on, Mr. Smiley.
I'll slip out that way, if you don't mind.
Not at all, sir.
George! Hello there. My dear boy. If it isn't the maestro himself, don't say you've forgotten me.
Hello, Roddy. Nice to see you.
How marvelous to run into you. They told me you were locked up with the monks in St. Gallen or somewhere, poring over manuscripts. Self-exile, they said. Of course, I knew that wasn't true, because I know you, George. You'd never leave England. You're just not capable of such an act of abandonment, no matter how shabbily the circus treated you. So, what have you been doing all these months? I want to know everything, every little bit. How's the delectable wife? How is the lovely Lady Anne? Not in town at the moment, I hear. Pound to a penny you're shopping for her. Little presents all the time, they tell me. Going away gifts, coming home gifts. Are you back on the beach, George? Or did you never really chuck it in? Is that it, George? Has it all been cover? Cover, George?
Roddy, I've retired.
All right, George, if you say so.
You look well, Roddy, but I mustn't delay you.
Oh, no, George, really, my dear old friend, you can't get away like that. Roddy Martindale simply wouldn't let you. It's months and months since we last had a chinwag. Ah, let me buy you a little aperitif, and then let me take you to dinner. Allow me that privilege. Honor me, George. I can tell by the look of you that no one else has claimed you tonight.
Oh, it's kind of you, but...
It's my role in life, George. We all need to be good at something. And we mustn't forget Jebediah. Wasn't he your old tutor?
Yes, once upon a time.
How do you rate Spark, the one who came from the School of Oriental Languages? Place him in the batting order, George. Not quite there. Had trouble with his nerves, so they say.
What a pity.
All dead and gone now, of course, properly appreciated by only a select few like you and me.
You flatter me.
Now, George, let's talk about your old boss, Control. The only head of the circus who ever kept his name a secret. Shall we talk about Control?
If you insist.
Of course, it wasn't a secret to you, was it, George? She never had any secrets from you, his tried and trusted right hand, did he?
I don't know. That's the point about secrets.
Close as thieves, Control and Smiley were, right to the end, so they say.
They are very complimentary.
Now, don't flirt, George. I'm an old trooper. You and Control were just like that. That's why you were thrown out. It's why Bill Hayden's got your job. It's why Percy Alleline got into Control's chair when it ought to be you. Why Bill Hayden's his cupbearer and you're out altogether.
If you say so, Roddy.
I do. I say more than that. Far more. I say this. Control never died at all. He's been seen. In South Africa. Now, we can't blame a man for wanting a bit of peace in the evening of his life. Willie Andrew Arthur walked straight into him in Joburg Airport in the waiting room. Not a ghost. Flesh.
That's the most idiotic story I've ever heard. Control died of a heart attack after a long illness, through most of which he continued to work. Besides, he hated South Africa. He hated everywhere except Surrey, the circus, and Lord's cricket ground.
Yes, of course. Willie Andrew Arthur was always the most god-awful liar. I said the same myself. Willie, you should be ashamed of yourself. I suppose what put the last nail into Control's coffin was the Checo scandal. The poor devil that got shot in the back. The one who was so thick with Bill Hayden. with his picture in the newspapers under some fictitious name. But we know his real name, don't we? Jim Prito. Somehow, I don't think I can ever quite believe in Percy Allaline as chief, can you? Might be just my natural cynicism. But power sits poorly on those we've grown up with, doesn't it? And there are so few who can carry it off for me nowadays. And poor Percy's such an obvious fellow, especially after Control, who's a positive serpent. How can anyone take Allaline seriously? Oh, that heavy good fellowship. One has only got to think of him in the old days, lolling in the bar of the Travellers, sucking away on that log of a pipe and buying drinks for all the moguls. Well, really, one doesn't like one's perfidy to be subtle, don't you agree? Now, what's his knack, George? Living off the wits of his subordinates, am I right?
Really, Roddy, I can't help you. I never knew Percy as a force, you see, only as a
striver? Right. With his eyes on Control's purple, day and night. Yes, well, now he's actually wearing it, and the mob loves him. So who's doing the business for him? Eh, George? Who is it?
I cannot help you.
Who's the clever boots? Well, not Percy, that's for sure. And don't tell me the Americans have started trusting us again, because they'd never fall for Percy.
Roddy, please stop this.
Wonderfully well he's doing. We hear it from all sides. Little committees popping up with funny names. Red carpet for Percy wherever he goes. Tripping the light fantastic along the Whitehall corridors.
You're out of my depth, truly.
So who's earning him his reputation?
No, thank you. I think we've finished now.
It's my party, George. I'll get the bill when I'm ready. So who's pulling the strings for Percy Puppet? How about dashing Bill Hayden, your old rival? In every sense, I'm told. Of course, he never was orthodox, was he? Genius never is. All right, then. It's Roy Bland, the shop-soiled White Hope, the first red brick don to make the circus. And if it's neither of them, and Control is really dead, then there's only one possibility left. It's someone who's pretending to be in retirement. You, George. Admit it.
You featherhead, Martindale, you pompous, bogus, gossiping old featherhead. Roy Bland is not red brick. He was at St. Anthony's College, Oxford.
Now, don't be silly, dear. Of course St. Anthony is red brick. It doesn't make the slightest difference there's a bit of sandstone in the same street. Just because he was your protege. I suppose he's Bill Hayden's boy now. Well, Bill was father to them all, wasn't he? Or something like that.
It's not mine, thank you.
I hope you're not going to tip him. It's a guinea at Christmas. Anyway, it's my party. Draws them like bees to a honeypot, doesn't he, our Bill?
Good night, Roddy.
You fancy a nightcap? Start afresh with a bubbly? Why not, George? I think I will. Of course, Bill's got the glamour, hasn't he? Not like some of us. Star quality, I call it. One of the very few. I'm told the women literally bow down before him. If that's what women do.
Good night.
Love to Anne. Everybody's love to Anne.
Bits of sandstone, shop soil, White Hope. Everybody's love to Anne. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Peter? I'd leave that coat on if I were you, George. We've got a long way to go.
Well, you're not me, Peter. And before I go anywhere at all, I shall change out of my sopping shoes. And also, I think, make a pot of coffee.
You sound a little testy, George, old boy. Lacon is waiting for you.
Me, Peter?
George, I've been sent to deliver you.
I've been reviewing my situation in the last half hour of hell, and I've come to a very grave decision. After a lifetime of living by my wits and on my memory, I shall give myself up full-time to the profession of forgetting. I'm going to put an end to some emotional attachments which have long outlived their purpose, namely the circus, this house, my whole past. I shall sell up and buy a cottage in the Cotswolds, I think. Steeple Aston sounds about right. Do I need overnight things?
I'm not taking any.
And there I shall establish myself as a mild eccentric. Discursive, withdrawn, but possessing one or two lovable habits, such as muttering to myself as I bumble along innocent pavements. I shall become an oak of my own generation. You make the coffee. You know where everything is. You can even pick my front door locks. Clever, Peter Graham. I saw you parking this toy in Curzon Street this afternoon. I ran away immediately. Good guess on your part.
What made you think I was looking for you?
I hoped you weren't. However, you found me eventually.
You had to come home sometime.
It's far too young for you, Peter.
It's quick.
I'm surprised you didn't get thrown out with the rest of us. You had all the qualifications for dismissal. Good at your work. Loyal, discreet.
What happened tonight, George? How's Anne?
Roddy Martindale happened tonight. Why do I permit it? I tell myself it's for politeness' sake. It's not. It's weakness. And the fact that I've nothing better to do. My wife's fine, thank you.
They put me in charge of scalp hunters.
You are Jim Prideaux's successor. You, looking after the heavy mob.
Why not? Tucked away at downtown Brixton, behind the broken glass and the barbed wire, dispatching the thugs occasionally, kept a good arm's length from the circus ringmasters.
How is Jim, do you know?
In quarantine.
I don't mean to pry, I merely ask. Can he get around? Can he walk and so on? Bad backs can be terribly tricky, I believe.
The word is he manages pretty well. He's back in England. Address unknown.
Travel. Is that still the scalp hunter's official name? Hit and run, caution carry? Sorry. Our control always preached that good intelligence work is gradual and rests on a kind of gentleness.
It's not my department.
No. Well, the scalp hunters were always the exception control allowed to his own rule. On Bill Hayden's persuasion. A reflection of Bill's temperament, of course. The solo initiative. Very dashing. Very audacious. sorry, Peter, what?
Lateralism. I said, are you familiar with the word?
I most certainly am not.
It's the in doctrine now. We used to go up and down. Now we go along.
What's that supposed to mean?
In your day, the circus ran itself by regions. Africa, satellites, Russia, China, Southeast Asia, West Indies, you name it. Each region was commanded by its own juju man. Control sat in heaven and held the strings, remember?
It strikes a distant chord.
Well, today everything operational is under one hat. It's called London Station. Regions are out, lateralism is in.
Who's station commander?
Bill Hayden. His number 2 is Roy Bland. Toby Esterhazy runs between them like a poodle. They're a service within the service. Share their own secrets and don't mix with the pros.
There are 3 of them and Alaline.
That's right. The object of it all is to make us more secure.
A very good idea.
Okay, today we have an icon S. I'm going to take out the battery. I have already taken out the LCD screen. And here how it looks like inside. First, you need to take out this optic engine using a Phillips screwdriver.
Why did Lakon send you for me, Peter?
There are 2 screws you need to take
You
out.
mean why did he send me for you, or why did he send me for you?
The first
Quite right,
screw,
Peter. I should have known better than
the
to
second
ask.
screw, and that's it. Take this out using the tweezer. And then here's the fun part.
You remember your last day at the circus?
Here are the
Just one day before control departed and the
that's-
new regime took over.
that stick with
You
the
stuck your
battery.
head around my office
Using
door
the
and said,
tweezer, carefully
"Peter, I've
take
been
it
sacked."
out.
We went straight out and you got drunk. Why pick me, George?
Just pull it out.
I was pretty
carefully,
low
don't
grade,
take it,
running some very sketchy
don't use
networks
too
of
much
merchant
force.
seamen out of London Dockland.
They
Whatever
are
pulled
pulled down.
Russians' chinks I could cobble together. Why me, George?
You want a reason?
You fastened on the same word that night when I asked why you'd been kicked out. I'll tell you exactly what you said.
I hope this isn't going to be embarrassing.
And you need to pull
You
this
said reason
out
as
a
logic
little
or
bit.
reason as motive. Or
Put
reason
the
as a way of
tweezer
life.
on.
You said they don't have to
And
give me
then
reasons.
pull
I can write my own
slowly
damn reasons, and that is not the same as the half-baked tolerance that comes
on
from
the
no
tweezer.
longer caring.
Oh.
I thought that was pretty impressive
Slowly.
stuff from a man as drunk as you were.
Oh, shit.
At least I had the good sense not to
plan.
let you drive me home.
Let's see if we can still save it.
Lakon sent me for you, George.
Okay, let's
Looks like Count Dracula's blood bank.
Lakon once described it to me as his Hampshire Camelot, built by a teetotal millionaire. She seems to think explains everything.
I'm so out of touch, Peter. Does Lakon have any particular title nowadays?
Nothing new. Just Sir Oliver of the Cabinet Office. Permanent watchdog of all intelligence affairs. You know how he loves being one of nature's prefects.
George, hello. Thanks for coming.
to
Come
make
on,
the same
will you?
mistake on the first one.
Willem? Hope we didn't get too fancy.
And if you work your way through it, but you just
You've been enjoying retirement, George?
output by itself.
You haven't missed the warmth of human contact. I rather would, I think. One's work, one's old buddies.
Oh, I think I manage very well, thank you. Yes. Yes, I'm sure I do.
Okay.
And you? All goes well with you?
See if
Oh,
you can save
no
the
great
other
changes. No, all very smooth.
You can still
Charlotte
see,
got a
as you can see
scholarship
here,
to
you
Berlin.
can still see the
very
white stickers.
How about your wife?
So let's try
In the pink,
to
George?
Very bonny, thank you.
somehow pull it out
Ah,
carefully.
all spruce and shipshape again, Willem? You were grubby. He did look a ruffian, didn't he, George?
We have some flat screws.
Well, shall we?
Let's see if we can try to flatten the flat screw. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
please, George, I wanted to talk particularly to you.
Maybe.
All right, Fawn, lock us in, please. I think we know Mr. Smiley, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Of course I do.
Now. Oh,
Let's get a job, Mr. Smiley. Don't you remember? Tar, sir. Ricky Tar, the lawyer's boy from Marseille.
Again.
Changed my first nappies, as we used to say. They were very tough interviews he used to give us tender young recruits. Of course, 12 years ago, and is that long, Mr. Smiley? Well, you don't look any
There you go.
No, 12 years ago, nobody but nobody got taken on unless we got past you. Not even scalp hunters. Weren't quite your type.
As long as it's
We all had to get the nod from Mr. Smiley.
Tar. Of course I remember you, Ricky. Your father was an Australian, I recall.
This way, you don't
A solicitor and a nonconformist lay preacher. Altogether a most unusual chap to pop up in Marseille. But just such odd circumstances do seem to provide us with suitable personnel.
Bad boys like Ricky. Daddy thought he could beat the sin out of me, but you knew better, didn't you, Mr. Smiley? He only beat it further in.
There you go.
And that's what scalp hunters are made of.
Actually, we forgot to take out the...
Isn't that right, Mr. Gwilym?
We're waiting for you, Tar. Yes, I do think we ought to get on.
The main board?
Well, I guess I better make my pitch then.
Let's keep it precise, shall we? All the way along.
Before you begin, Ricky, do I understand correctly that no one at the circus knows you're in England?
Only Mr. Gwilym.
You're officially absent without leave.
We can take out the battery without...
Oh, really?
That's all.
On the
All right,
wanted
thank
list.
you guys. That's all for today.
I think I'm safe now. I've got a story to tell you. It's all about spies. And if it's true, which I think it is, you boys are going to need a whole new organization. Right? Shall I start with the day you sent me to Lisbon? Changed my life. You might find it's going to change all your lives.
You're officially absent without leave. On the wanted list.
I think I'm safe now. I've got a story to tell you. It's all about spies. And if it's true, which I think it is, you boys are going to need a whole new organization. Right? Shall I start with the day you sent me to Lisbon? Changed my life. You might find it's going to change all your lives. Our resident buffoon, old galloping major called Tufty Thesinger, wanted a helping hand. My boss says you've got your eyes on a likely piece of merchandise for us. Well, what's his style then, Miss Boris?
He's a real flash Harry. Exactly, not your common garden Russian granite face at all. During the day, he fulfills his norm like the rest of his mob. There's a whole mixed bag of technical advisors here. Boris is with civil engineers. Come nightfall, he makes his own arrangements. That's just a farce. The club says if there's never going to be another tomorrow. The man hasn't slept for a week, and my boys are folding at the knees.
A young Muscovite with official connections and that kind of appetite for the flesh pots seems ripe for the picking. Always use another defector, can't we?
Absolutely. Got to keep in stock. Nothing else on him apart from the booze?
I've got something to blackmail him on. I would have hardly needed London to come and fix it. Would I?
Temper, tough.
You think the Russians disapprove of compliment? You're wrong. That's the Chinese. All miserable boiler suits and the smallest compliment for the biggest number.
Yeah?
Not for me. Boris looks after number one, like any real person the white world over. You know, it's nice talking to you like this. Some people, when I say from Moscow, I see this look in their faces. It's so funny. I know what they're thinking. Russia, oh my God, he's going to indoctrinate us. Put our names in his little black book. And then the awful men with the black hats and the black overcoats will come tapping at the door in the dead of night. And they'll say, Boris is your good friend Russia. You're going to tell us all about his secret sex life, member of parliament, and the mayor.
Let me get you all another drink. Yes, please, be my guest. Waiter!
Lágrimas traduzem lamento, escondido em meu olhar. São mágoas de sofrimento que moram no pensamento de quem nasceu para te amar. A verdade queres esconder, não dizes, eu adivinho. Só me tentas convencer que temos de percorrer.
Amorisco, saber si estoy cayendo, amor, escúchame. Non ho capito la siente, io soffrirai. Amori, bésame. Arrivederci, amore, bésame. Si tú lo piensas, serás mi corazón.
And I am telling you, we're definitely in the wrong ball game with this, chummy. That's a professional, a Moscow Center-trained hood. The way he sets himself. That alone.
Well, if you're right. Okay, you know. He'd be quite a catch, wouldn't he?
We scalp hunters are expressly forbidden to trawl for double agents, new orders from above. At the first smell of the opposition, abandon and drop hot potato into ample lap of London Station. No, I'm cabling Willem no sail and booking myself a flight home.
Okie dokie, Ricky. And since the job is finished, let us seal it, so to speak.
Nags me a bit, though, this Boris. Makes his rounds every night, does he?
Never missed yet. I told you, my boys.
Well, before I go, I might just take a peep inside Boris's kennel. See what's under the mattress. Can't be any harm in that, can there?
Orders is orders.
I like keeping my hand in. It's been quiet lately. You can get rusty.
Well, enjoy yourself, my son. But don't break any eggs, Ricky, please. I have to live here. Remember?
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain. Boris?
Good question, lady. Where is Boris? This is his room, right? And believe me, lady, I wish you no harm. I'm sorry if I frightened you. You caught me by surprise, I can tell you. I wasn't expecting a lady, just Boris.
I'm his wife. What are you doing
Now,
here?
look, I don't want to upset you.
Does my husband know you?
No point in pussyfooting, lady. Well, it's this way. Your Boris walked off with my girl tonight, and that's one diabolical liberty. And to add insult to injury, he'd been drinking on my wife. So I thought I'd come up here and have a word with Boris. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Thanks for not screaming the place down.
You should be careful what you say about my husband. He's an important man. He has influential friends.
You frightening me off, Mrs. Boris. I got quite a name for looking after myself. I'm your original Australian self-made success story. Rags to riches and punching all the way. Bureaucrats don't scare me, not even the bloody Russian kind.
Don't call me Mrs. Boris. My name's Irina.
I'm Tony Lawrence.
Are you?
Yeah, Tony Lawrence. You just mentioned that name in Adelaide. I'm in car sales, property, frozen foods. You know, if I was Boris, I wouldn't be out at night chasing other blokes' women. I wouldn't feel the need.
Boris is Boris. And Lawrence? Someone else. I don't know anything about Australia. Perhaps somewhere tomorrow. Evening?
Are you sure you don't want something stronger? You look as if it might help. Oh, don't misunderstand me, Irina. You look great. Really lovely. I just meant it might relax you. You know, you seem more scared now than you were last night. No, it can't be me.
I'm not supposed to do this. Meet people. Talk without official approval. I'm not free to do that.
Where's the harm? Just two strangers in a foreign land getting to like each other. It's normal behavior.
I do special work. I travel as a trade delegate in my own right. Textiles. I'm highly trained, experienced. Tired of it. I hate it. I want to escape from it.
Textiles.
It's like a prison. I need someone to help me. You can be quite brave, Lawrence.
Tony.
I shall call you Lawrence. Colonel Lawrence. Like Lawrence of Arabia?
He was English.
I know. There's an English expression. It takes one to spot one. You wouldn't have fooled me for long, even without putting those wedges in the door. It's the way we look for things, isn't it? We don't stare. We don't seem to be looking. We are not like tourists, or prostitutes, or pickpockets. We just know how to see. Paris isn't as good as he ought to be. He enjoys showing off too much, so he misses things. He missed you, didn't he? But you didn't miss him, did you, Colonel? Are you very good?
The best. God gave me all the talents. Try me.
I like being in the presence of Christianity. I understand why some women become nuns. Give themselves. Their whole lives given. Willingly. There's freedom in that. I've met Christians I've envied very deeply. Envy's a sin, I know that. But I confess it here in this holy place. There, Christians were being interrogated. The worst time to see people. And the best sometimes. I'm studying the Bible. Secretly, of course. That isn't freedom. Come on to me, all you who are heavy laden. Is that it? Do you know how it goes on?
There's a village below here, right by the sea, very quiet. We could take a room. Would you like that? How long have you worked with Boris?
They made us a team a long time ago. He's a specialist in picking up foreign businessmen from Moscow Center. I look after communications for him, for special codes. Couldn't we be a team? You could take me to England. That's what I want, Lawrence. You could. I know something. Something so important. It's one of the biggest secrets ever. It would make you so famous. But it's so secret.
Tell me. Tell me, Irina.
I'm frightened.
I can look after you. You'll be safe.
I can only speak to your chief. I mean, Adeline, nobody else. It's too dangerous. I can only speak to Adeline.
Tell me.
Only the head of the circus. I'm going to go back now. They'll be looking for me. There's too much to tell now. Maybe tomorrow. Again. Cemetery. Come on, Lawrence.
We can talk in the car.
Tomorrow. There's too much. Be calm. Tonight they'll notice. I drink too much sometimes. They are used to that. Some of the priests are drunkards. They told me that at school. When I was still in Moscow, before I started traveling with Paris, I had a relationship with a filing clerk at the center in Dzerzhinsky Square. We went against regulations. We used to meet outside. He was very sweet. Your looks remind me of him. His name was Ivlov, and he told me a story. He was frightened too. But sometimes if you know something that's so big, so secret, you have to tell it to someone. It has to be someone you love. Like I'm telling you now.
It's all right, darling. It's all right.
Have you heard of Karla? He's an old fox, the most cunning of them all at the center. And he works so secretly that some people don't even know he exists. This story Ivlov told me concerns one of Karla's greatest conspiracies. And it is happening in England. Do you know what is meant by the word mole? Yes. Moles burrow very deep into the fabric of Western imperialism. They are very dear to Moscow Center because it may take 15 or even 20 years before they are used. Well, my friend Ivlov told me he had worked in London. His cover was as a driver at the embassy.
Do you have a name to give me?
Ivlov's work name in London was Lapin. He didn't know it meant rabbit in French. It fitted because at the embassy he was supposed to be just a nobody, serving drinks with women at receptions. But all the time, he was the secret right-hand man to Colonel Gregor Viktorov. And Viktorov is the agent who briefs and debriefs them all.
His name, Irina.
In London, Viktorov's cover is cultural attaché, known as Polyakov. I'm so frightened, so tired. You must take me home with you. We could be happy.
Finish the story. Who's the mole? Where is he?
I can only speak to Alelai. We are in danger. You must get me to him. Face to face with the head of the circus. Nothing else is safe.
You trust me, don't you?
I want you.
Adeline will take some persuading.
Tell him I have information crucial to the well-being of the circus. Use those words.
Morning, Tufty. Can I come and play with your toys?
I thought you'd finish your holes, Ricky. What must they be thinking back home?
It'll be all right. Got a postcard to send them. They're gonna love me for it.
Thank you. How much are you going to tell me?
The message is graded flash to London Station and by hand of duty officer only.
Drastic stuff, eh? That's maximum security limit. What did you get on Boris? It's your show, my son.
My sibling?
If you're listening, whoa. If you're listening.